Hello, I'm the Builder Boy and welcome back to Swamp League. Last time we saw Dankton clear house using its very versatile weapon setup to win itself the heat. Now, we have a very interesting heat in store, so let's take a look at the bots now. First up, we have Afterburner from Duck. It has a massive vertical bar spinner, where it is a massive vertical bar spinner, but the problem is, well, it's a massive vertical bar spinner. I wish I had more jokes to say, but I think they're compensating for something. Chaotic's entrant into this heat is Kadabra, a very meta-looking vertical spinner with 4-wheel drive. It is very agile and has a good weapon, but the problem is its lack of ground game. Hopefully it can cast a spell on its opponents so their ground game isn't so good. Next up we have Capsize, where we see a trend with many bots here where there are spinning weapons on lifting devices, and Capsize is no different. It's like a whiplash switchback style. They have very low forks, but the problem is they got flat sides. Last but not least, we have Hellraiser, which has a vertical spinner. Who knew? It has a pretty good weapon, and it's also wide so it can try and corral bots. Problem is, it only has those 2 forks, so it may struggle to get under some opponents. Let's get this very vert heavy heat started with the tall Afterburner and the short Kadabra.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So we are over halfway through the series now. So the way it looks, Duck has got 2 machines in the grand finals, Chaotic has 1, Shiken has 1, Builder has none. So will that all change this heat? Well, currently it's the Chaotic and Duck machine going at it, and well, Afterburner, its strength is listed as a huge vertical spinner, and its weakness is listed as a huge vertical spinner. Well, it is going to be a very, very interesting battle here, as well as the big spinner versus the more smaller spinner. Kadabra reminds me a little bit of Henry from a few heats ago. 4-wheel drive looks like it could do quite good at pushing, has a good spinner on it. A bit of a more smaller spinner, but it's hoping to come with a few good nicks, knock Afterburner around. A little bit similar to the vertical spinner setup of Tornado in Robot Wars, slightly a little bit. I mean, it's definitely giving me those sort of vibes, and it's definitely casting a spell on Afterburner here, who is definitely crashing and burning early on here, and a huge hit there. But, well, the huge vertical bar spinner definitely preventing Afterburner from getting hit with the ring out, but it's not preventing them from just jumping around, really, is it? Afterburner reminds me a lot of Deep Six from BattleBots. Don't know why this show's name was blanking on me. It's literally the most famous robot combat show in the world. How on earth was that blanking on me? But yeah, it's very Deep Six-esque. And of course, it being called Afterburner reminds me of the old arcade game Afterburner. If anyone's ever played that, the old Sega arcade game, it's pretty good. And well, this match is definitely proven to be pretty good. Afterburner has already had to use 1 unstick. Duck has already had to use 1 unstick. Kadabra definitely proven to be on top. The more controlled for sure. Definitely having a better weapon effectiveness. Afterburner has caused some damage with one of the ears of Kadabra getting knocked off. But I'm sure with Kadabra having the magic power of the evil wizards, the evil wizard's power, I'm sure that won't affect them too much as well. Well, Afterburner definitely coming with a huge hit there on Kadabra. It seems they've maybe gained a bit of magic resistance, perhaps. Well, they are definitely bouncing around, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Kadabra's using a little bit of psychonesis on them there, just to, well, throw them all about here, you know. And, well, look at that! That was a massive hit! Almost hitting the camera there. Careful! Our cameras are expensive. You're going to need to repair it if you break it, one of these machines, Duck and Chaotic. You better be careful. We aren't made of money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Although paper is made from wood and trees are made of wood and money is made from paper. Oh, whatever. This is proven to be an excellent fight and an excellent way to open heat between 2 very powerful vertical spinners. Both machines still standing, too close to call, and it is going to go to the judges.
Cease.
Well, two very different philosophies of spinners. The smaller but more controlled Kadabra versus the larger and more powerful but definitely not controlled at all Afterburner. Very, very good fight to kick off the heat, I feel. Very good action. Something you just love to see from these two, well, vertical spinner machines just dishing blow after blow. I'm not entirely sure who wins this here. Kadabra had moments where it was on top. Afterburner had moments where it was on top. Afterburner hopped and jumped around a bit, but Kadabra got knocked about a few times as well. It's going to be really, really close. And, well, either way, neither robot here can be disappointed with a performance like that. A brilliant fight. Great stuff.
The winner by unanimous decision is Kadabra. Good showing for Kadabra, showing that bigger isn't always better. Now let's see the battle of red and blue between Capsize and Hellraiser.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
So it's red versus blue, Charizard versus Blastoise, Capsize versus Hellraiser. But what team are you on? Are you team red or are you team blue? Well, currently, blue is definitely gaining more purchase here. With the articulated drum weapon, it could double as a lifter. Very similar to Whiplash and Bojangler from a few heats ago. Hellraiser has got a very nice looking vertical spinner, and come on, we need to see Builder win a heat. Come on, we need to see it. And Hellraiser, while not a veteran of Swamp League, are a veteran in other forms of robot combat, being a veteran of Lego Robot Combat. But will that experience translate well here to Swamp League? Of course, Lego Robot Combat Builder's old Lego Fan-Made Robot Wars series, and, well, Capsize definitely bringing in the drum spinner weapon. The lifter can also double as a clamper and a hammer saw as well from the rear, with that drum-like weapon. It's a drum as opposed to a spinner, unlike, your Whiplashes and your Bojanglers. And, well, the drum is proving to be very effective here. Has got a massive hit radius there, knocking Hellraiser up into the air. Hellraiser trying to maneuver away, although it's just not low enough. Capsize has got a very, very good ground game here with those huge forks, and Hellraiser very nearly went to hell. Well, our version of hell of the war zone, known as the ring out zones. Yes, well, will we see a ring out this heat or in this battle perhaps? Well, only time will tell. And, well, now both machines having a bit of a stalemate there. Neither able to get in underneath the other. Getting knocked about though now is Hellraiser, getting hit around, and, well, Capsize definitely bringing in the hits with the big blue drum versus the big red spinner. Well, it certainly is proving to be all Capsize here, as Hellraiser really struggling. Hasn't impressed thus far really, but I feel that is more of a testament of the machine that Capsize is. Very low to the ground. And, well, like I said in the last heat and the heat before that, Shiken has definitely once again brought a very, very impressive looking machine here to Swamp League. A very, very impressive one. This time with a very powerful spinning drum. And definitely looking to be one of the lowest machines in the competition as well, with those long forks. Hellraiser's got forks of his own, but Capsize is winning the fork off, getting in underneath Hellraiser, knocking them around, and it looks like this demon of the war zone will be slain here tonight by Capsize. Although it only has 20 seconds left to do so, Hellraiser still managing to stay alive. It is hard to put a demon down, that is for sure. Well, demons, well, some of them are basically already dead, so that's why it is so hard to put them down pretty much. And, well, Hellraiser looks like it's going to last a full minute, but Capsize, a very strong performance, a very impressive performance, and I'm sure it won't take long for the judges to decide this one.
Cease.
And if we just look back at the action, I think it's easy to see what I mean. Capsize, very, very well controlled. Hellraiser really did struggle. Really did. We didn't really see that spinner come into play, unfortunately. It is a shame. I was looking forward to some big hits from both machines, but alas, we only really saw big hits from Capsize. And, well, very controlled, very destructive, a very good combination of both, something that you really need in a competition like Swamp League. Hellraiser really did struggle, but, like I was saying, it is hard to put a demon down for good. and Capsize really did struggle to put Hellraiser down for the count. It is going to go to the judges.
Your winner by unanimous decision is Capsize. You know what? Never mind. Bigger sometimes is better. Capsize takes 2 points. Now, let's see the top two take each other on.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
So it's the battle of the blue machines here. Well, it's sort of more purplish blue versus the regular blue. And it's also the big drum versus the small yellow spinner of the magic bots that is Kadabra. And well, Capsize definitely flinging Kadabra into the air. A little bit of sleight of hand, perhaps, for Kadabra to go flying as far as it did. But Kadabra now trying to get in at the sides, maybe rip off one of them wheels of Capsize. If it rips off a wheel, that will be crucial. Although it does have 4 wheels. Both these machines have 4 wheels, so they can still keep rolling even if one wheel is taken off. Capsize definitely struggling on the back foot on the early goings of the fight. And Kadabra, look at the speed. This is what I mean. I feel with that 4-wheel drive and the speed, it could double equally as well as a pusher as well as a spinner. A very fast and nippy machine. But Capsize has the lifter. That is going to be the difference maker in this fight. They both have the spinner power, we know that. But Kadabra with the speed and the better torque, or Capsize with the lower ground clearance and the lifting weaponry. It's going to be very close, but watch which machine's advantage will overwhelm the other. Well, Kadabra trying to bring in the speed to get in at the side, the more maneuverable of the two. But Capsize gets the ring out, I think. Is it? Was that a ring out? I think Kadabra managing to escape using the spinner, but they weren't quite so lucky this time. Well, blink and you miss it. That was a very quick battle. But in the end, Kadabra's speed and torque wasn't enough. It was the lifting power and the lower ground clearance of Capsize that got the win. The lower ground clearance able to bring in more hits to the spinner, which ended up being the undoing for Kadabra. Knocking them out, getting the ring out to get the win. Such a shame for Kadabra though. It was a good performance, and once again, it was a very, very good fight, but Capsize will be going home with the 3 points, that's for sure.
A very destructive display gives Capsize the 3 points to top the table. Now, let's see the Battle of Red between Afterburner and Hellraiser.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Both machines in dire need of getting some points here. Duck wants to get back in the action after going on a losing streak in the last 2 heats after, well, dominating the first 2. And, well, Builder, like I said, it would be nice to see one of his machines get through to the grand finals. And, well, it looks like both machines are going to need to use the unstuck here. Yep, it is a double unstick. This won't count as an unstick for both machines. This was enforced by the judges, as both machines would have been deemed as immobilized otherwise. So now that we've got that little bit informed and out the way, well, Afterburner is definitely, well, this is more what we expected. Afterburner just hopping and bouncing around like the madman that it is. And Hellraiser proving that, well, smaller is better sometimes. You know, big things come in small packages versus bigger is better. And, well, Afterburner not really showing that bigger really is better. Bigger seems to mean that you're more uncontrolled and hopping and bouncing away like a driver with a big alcohol with big alcohol in his stomach. You know, he can't really drive very well. And Afterburner not being able to drive very well here either. Don't drink and drive, kids. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. Anyways, enough of that totally not endorsed by the government PSA. Afterburner is stuck near the pulverizers again, and it looks like, well, it will need to use an unstick, and, well, that is an official unstick. If Duck's machine gets stuck again, it will be an immobilization. Well, again, avoiding the ring out though of the big spinner. It is quite tough to eliminate a machine like Hellraiser. The big, huge spinner makes it very hard to get a ring out. It will either bounce out due to the result of the huge spinner, or it will bounce off the walls. But this has definitely been all Hellraiser for me thus far. More controlled. The front wedge does look very scuffed though, I might add. Although, again, Afterburner narrowly avoiding a ring out. The big size of the huge spinner definitely aiding them here. Hellraiser pinging him up against the screws though. And, well, Afterburner getting knocked about here. Hellraiser definitely being the way more controlled here. Afterburner, it's ridiculous. And what is that? What is that? Well, I guess the centrifugal force of the spinner was able to free them. The gyroscope, I guess, but like, well, that's the first time we've seen something like that. I thought Afterburner for sure would have been deemed immobilized, stuck up there, and well, you can't sit there all day. Shoutouts to Spawn again. But anyway, this has been a very, very thrilling battle thus far. And well, it looks like Afterburner is stuck up against the wall once again. Is Hellraiser going to try and go for a ring out, or will it get the immobilization? I think it will just take the count out win, and Hellraiser will be getting the 3 points. That's for sure.
Cease.
Well, that was a very, very good battle, that was. Hellraiser and Afterburner definitely having a very, very good battle here. Afterburner did bring in many good hits, and both machines were stuck very briefly. But despite the good hits from Afterburner, Hellraiser proved that power is nothing without control. You need a good combination of both. And that's what Hellraiser had to get the win. Definitely raising some hell in the war zone, smacking Afterburner about with that very, very nice vertical spinner. I like the look of Hellraiser. It's small, it's compact, it's nippy, the spinner can bring in the damage. Afterburner can bring in the good hits, but it just lacks control for me.
Very unfortunate high centering for Afterburner as Hellraiser shoots itself up to second place. Hopefully Afterburner can pick up some points against the table leaders, Capsize.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
So the penultimate fight of the evening of what is seems to be a very, very quick heat. And well, it's the two big spinners of the heat going at it. And well, already Afterburner, what is with this machine? This machine is stupid. But you know what? I love a little bit of stupid, I will be honest. I do love a little bit of stupid. Capsize looks a bit confused, really. Shiken maybe doesn't really quite know what to do with Duck's robot. Afterburner, when we asked Ducks in the pits, how big is your vertical spinner? How big do you want it? He simply just responded with, yes. And it definitely is a yes, because look at the size of it. It's already been ringed out. Well, that was over in a choice, really. Capsize didn't really win that fight. It's more Afterburner lost. And it lost hard. Well, that is probably the easiest 3 points in any robot's career, as Afterburner just decided, you know what? I'm going to be the one to go home. I'm going to be the one to eliminate myself. See you later. Goodbye. Toodaloo. And cheerio.
Absolute carnage from Capsize to take out Afterburner and cement itself as the heat winner. Now we gotta decide who will get the wild card from this heat. Hellraiser or Kadabra. Let's see it now.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Now, unfortunately, with Shiken's machine just running away with the victory, getting a whopping 8 points. Both machines here, Kadabra and Hellraiser, can only really fight for a wildcard spot here, which will be determined basically based on what machine will get the win here. And again, unfortunately, that does mean Builder's machine won't be winning the heat again, unfortunately, and that is a shame. I thought Hellraiser could have been the one to do it. But both these machines, if they're in a different heat, I feel we could have seen some more magic from them. Quite literally in Kadabra's case, as I really do like the look of both machines. The compact and nippy Hellraiser versus the 4-wheel drive power of Kadabra. Both machines' vertical spinners basically the same size, but quite similar in many ways. Hellraiser more maneuverable, Kadabra having the more torque. Although it looks like Chaotic will possibly use the unstick here. Yes, they do. Both machines gunning for that wildcard spot here. It is hard to put down a magician, but it is just as hard to put down a demon. And well, Kadabra getting knocked up into the air there by Hellraiser. Hellraiser trying to knock Kadabra around, hitting him around the arena floor. Kadabra trying to get the forks in. Again, it's the battle of the robots with the forks once again. Both machines have 2 forks. They're both very similar, like I said, very similar machines in many ways. But Hellraiser proving to be the much more impressive of the two, I feel. The big wedge definitely doing better than, well, the big front of Kadabra, the 2 forks, and, well, the flat sides. And it looks like it's been high-centered again. And Hellraiser looks like it will take another KO at this rate, unless it goes for a ring out. but I think they're just going to play it safe. They're just going to take the wildcard spot, spin to win, spin a delight, spin to victory.
Cease.
Hellraiser gets the win. You know, it is such a shame that Hellraiser won't be winning this heat due to the impressive performance of Capsize, because that was a very, very good performance. Kadabra, it is a shame to see them go home. I really like the look of that machine. Very, very fun throughout the heat. But Hellraiser were just the better of the two on this day. It really could have gone either way. Like I said, both machines quite similar in many ways. Very similar in their spinner power, that's for sure. But in the end, Kadabra were just high-centered, and Hellraiser gets the win.
Go out and buy a lottery ticket, Hellraiser, as you've bought yourself a chance at the postseason bracket as it slid Kadabra onto the same wall that it got Afterburner stuck on. Absolutely amazing action from our Verts this heat, but in the end it was Capsize who, through absolute sheer power and control, got itself the heat victory. I've been your host, ThatBuilderBoi, and we'll see you in the next heat of the first series of Swamp League.
Oh.
Good. This has been
Oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
oh my god. We did it. It happened.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, that's so tough. That's so tough.
Yes.